Well, it's already the bike of choice for the likes of Eli Tomac, Dylan Ferrandis, and of course the CDR Factory Racing Yamaha team in Australia. Now Yamaha has updated its production YZ450F for 2023. This is a wholesale change. We're at the Ride Park MX facility in Victoria. Let's get into it.
In the racing world, the YZ450F is already considered the machine to beat, with multiple US, AMA and Australian Pro MX titles to its name in recent seasons. For 2023, Yamaha has completely overhauled its flagship production motocrosser, with a new chassis, revised engine, new conical spring cable clutch system, optimised front fork settings and a host of other evolutionary changes. The objective was to strip weight and make the YZ narrower and sharper, and on paper it does just that, with a claimed wet weight of just 108.9 kilograms plus a flatter seat and slimmer ergonomics. Engine changes are extensive, led by new exhaust and intake port shapes, larger diameter titanium intake valves, new cylinder and the adoption of dry sump lubrication. The engine is matched to a new 5-speed transmission, new traction control and updated launch control systems, and is housed in a narrower aluminium bilateral beam frame.
Okay, so first impression, I've come here, I've never been to Ride Park before, haven't ridden in a few months, so was really interested to jump on the bike and see how I felt immediately. And I have to say, it feels balanced, and the changes that Yamaha have made a machine that is better rounded. I think it's going to be better rounded for expert and pro riders, but for novice and intermediate riders like me as well. I jumped on, I immediately sort of felt really confident on the bike. I was in really thick sort of dirt here at Ride Park. It's not a bike that ever feels knifey or anything like that. You've got a lot of traction over the front. I haven't really made too many changes with forks going through the triple clamp or suspension settings or anything else. This is basically stock as you see it. And yeah, just jumped on and felt immediately comfortable. The changes that Yamaha has made in terms of the ergonomics, flattening out the bike a little bit, it makes those sort of middling transitions between corners a lot more fluid. No longer do you feel sort of clunky shifting your weight forward or backward or all that sort of thing. The whole process just feels streamlined, and for someone that doesn't ride all the time, that makes for an easier bike on different surfaces. Power delivery is the other notable thing here. Yamaha says that there's a higher rev ceiling, it's 500 RPM higher than before, but the translation is quite a mellow power output. You know, you're able to, if you want it to be aggressive, you can stick it in the most aggressive map and get that. But if you want it to be mellow and take advantage of the traction control settings, you can do that too. And it's just from the moment you crack the throttle all the way through the rev spectrum, it doesn't feel like it wants to pull your arms off. It's a really nice, linear and well-metered power band, and it works well with the 5-speed transmission. That's the other point here. Like, this is a big open motocross facility. It's got some big jumps, some big straightaways as well. You could pretty much spend the entire time in second gear if you wanted to. And even then, like, the bike never feels really stressed and the engine never signs off. It just pulls hard all the way through to its rev limiter. The other thing that comes to mind with this bike when I ride it is that of balance between the front and rear. As I said before, you shift your weight over the front and attack some of these deeper dirt corners here at Ride Park. Never feels knifey or anything else. You're able to just sort of really attack things and have confidence that you're going to have a lot of purchase over the front. Same deal with the back, like a lot of sort of rutted out sections here where it is hardening out. The bike's not skipping, it just feels like it's staying in its lane, it's tracking really well, and again, it's inspiring confidence. I have to say, yeah, like the other change here is the ergonomics as well, is just how agile the bike feels. I think when you think of the geometry changes, the frame changes, the engine changes, it makes for a motorcycle that feels far more agile than before. You know, YZ450S of old, they're a bike that you really have to muscle to get the most out of. This seems to work a lot more with you, and I think Yamaha have made some really, really notable improvements.
Yamaha has certainly addressed some of the long-standing gripes of the YZ450F. Gone is the loud airbox induction noise, and the cumbersome turn-in of the predecessor is no longer as well. The new model will lift the front wheel eagerly if your body position is out of whack, but some adjustment quickly puts paid to that. The YZ450F offers great stopping power, and our test bikes feel well put together with their materials and plastic alignment. We found Yamaha's updated cable clutch light and full of feel in its action. For those who insist on a hydraulic clutch unit, now offered by nearly every other manufacturer, Yamaha is offering a GYTR accessory hydraulic clutch option. But the truth is, the cable clutch does a fine job itself. Yamaha's Power Tuner app is another noteworthy feature in the YZ450F's bag of tricks, now offering even more tuning for engine mapping, traction and launch control tuning, engine and suspension tuning guides, and even a lap timer, logging each lap in your phone using the existing handlebar switchgear.
Those are just some of the takeaway features from the 2023 Yamaha YZ450F. I wouldn't be surprised if this bike quickly finds itself at the top of every 450 shootout. It is super impressive, and it's a bike that caters to all abilities.